everybody, my name is Elle and welcome to my channel. Today I have a really quick update for my Pan Matte palette with the Burgundy x9 palette from MAC. So I've made a lot of progress since my last update. I've hit pan on 3 more shadows. I have made a lot more progress since my last update. I believe at my last update I had only hit pan on Honey Lust, the gold shade in the top corner, but I now have pan showing on 4 shadows, including Honey Lust, so I've hit pan on 3 more shadows. So I have pan on Honey Lust, Poppyseed, Antiqued, and Star Violet. I have expanded the pan on Honey Lust slightly. I am wearing Honey Lust on the inner portion of my lid today. This sort of funky fun eye look, which really big thanks to the people who joined me really quick on Instagram Live, and I asked you guys what kind of makeup look I could do, and when I talked about doing like some teal stuff, you guys were all for it with the glitter, so that is what I did using Honey Lust, but I actually used a little bit of Star Violet on the lower lash line as well. I will talk more about Star Violet, but anyway, Honey Lust. Generally, I would use this as like a wash all over my lid. I will use like a 2 or 3 shadow look. I do a lot of really quick shadow looks because I generally use this palette the most when I'm getting ready for work. So my makeup is really quick. As I've mentioned before, I have to do like 15 to 25-minute makeup. So it's usually very quick, nothing very complicated. I don't wear false lashes to work often. Very rare occasion where I break out the drama false lashes thing. So it's usually a very simple look. So it'd all be like Honey Lust all over the lid, Honey Lust on the inner portion with a darker color in the outer portion of the eye, sort of like this, but just not as dramatic. So just sort of more of a rounded shape as opposed to angled. And then I usually kind of copy the same thing on the lower lash line, you know, something just very, very basic. I will also use Honey Lust in the middle of my lid for either a halo eye or like a faux halo eye. So for those of you familiar with a halo eye, it's generally when you have the dark inner and outer eye and then nothing in the middle except for like a bright pop of color or just something like a light shimmery shade, which is where Honey Lust comes in. But sometimes I do like the faux quick halo where I would take a shade like Antiqued and spread that all over the lid and then just put a little Honey Lust in the middle. It makes it a lot easier as opposed to trying to blend those 2 shades kind of into each other. I just have to pack a little bit of Honey Lust onto the middle and it just adds a little bit of brightness. So that's generally how I use Honey Lust. Poppyseed is a satin eyeshadow that I'm obsessed with for my crease, even when I'm not using mostly the Burgundy x9 palette, because you guys know I'm working on palettes for my Project Pan Porn. I would often use Poppyseed because this is a really great transition tone for me. It's a little bit on the cooler side, which I like. I like to have something that's somewhat close to my skin tone for a transition, but usually just like a shade or 2 deeper. And that's what Poppyseed is for me. It really works well as a transition shade. It doesn't show up super noticeably on the skin, which is why it's great. It just makes it so easy to blend other shadows into it. So I've been using that a lot. Quarry and Embark are 2 matte shades. Quarry is a shade I use as a transition shade. Not as often as Poppyseed. It's a little bit darker, a little bit more gray. It really works well with this palette. I haven't really found a lot of combinations that it works with outside of this palette. It's not as versatile as Poppyseed is for me. And Poppyseed is a satin as opposed to a matte, and I just like the finish to it because it's just not as flat. And Embark is a really beautiful brown matte shade. I use it on occasion to darken like the outer corner, the outer V of my eye. On the rare occasion, if I try and do more of like a traditional halo eye, I've used it, but I haven't used it that often. I did start to really like a soft winged shadow on the daily because I like the way that like winged liner and winged shadows look on my eye shape, but let's be real, winged eyeliner and even really dramatic winged shadow when you have very limited time is not really within the realm of possibility, at least for someone like me. I'm pretty challenged when it comes to making things symmetrical. So a soft wing really works for me though. I did do that quite a few times, did a variation of the look, mostly with Embark faded like subtly out. I've been doing more dramatic looks lately, even more subtly dramatic, so I've been like winging stuff out, even just like way out, just because I can and I want to. It sometimes doesn't look that noticeable, but sometimes you can tell. I like to be able to see a lot of my shadow when I turn to the side. That's what I go for. So I do have a picture of this look because one day I just happened to get a really good picture. Haux is another satin, but like Quarry, it's a little bit gray and it's a little bit darker. So I can't really use it in my crease that often because it's a little too dark. I have used it on occasion in my crease. Mostly I use it on like the lower lash line to sort of blend things and smoke stuff out a little bit more, depending on what I have going on my lid. But I'm trying to find more ways to use Haux because it's a really beautiful satin shadow. It's just sort of a strange tone for me. Then we have the two Volux Pearl shades, which I have massive pan on because those are the things that I use the most, like all over the lid. Antiqued and Star Violet. Antiqued is so gorgeous. This is a shadow that I can't believe I was unsure of. Like, it's got a little bit of copper in it and it's absolutely beautiful. My swatches for these guys kind of suck just because I can't really get my finger in the pan to do like decent finger swatches. I also find that MAC shadows don't swatch as well as they perform on the lid. I also use both Antiqued and Star Violet wet with Fix Plus. They're beautiful. Antiqued, like I said, has a little bit of copper in it. It's such a warm shadow and it really just does give me those antique vibes. Like, it's just, I will use it all over my lid. Just as much as I can pack on, and then I blend out the edges with like Poppyseed usually, and just sort of blend it out so it's really soft and smoky. That and Star Violet as well. Okay, I just went and had to get some Fix Plus and a brush so I could show you guys better what these shadows look like. So you can really see with the top swatch Antiqued and its bronzy coppery goodness. And then Star Violet, you can see in that second swatch, it's so vibrant. I find that just adding a little bit of Fix Plus really brings out the intensity of it. You can really see how warm it is and how it's a little bit more pink. And that is the same way as Antiqued. I will use that sort of smudged all over the eye. It's such a gorgeous shadow. Antiqued and Star Violet I think are two shadows I'm definitely gonna have in my collection forever. I enjoy using them so much, and they're such good, quick, easy shadows for me to use. Then there's the two Velvet shadows, Hashtag Noir and Sketch. So Hashtag Noir I really have not used much at all, like maybe once or twice. I really don't like that shadow, and like I said, I'm not going to push myself. I really like 8 out of the 9 shadows, so I'm not going to fight with Hashtag Noir right now. And as you can see from Sketch, I've been using that one and I just swatched it, which is why it looks a little funky, because I actually really liked it layered on top of Antiqued. And I know it sounds really strange, but this is what it ends up looking like. So as you can see from the combination of Antiqued and Sketched, it just looks more like velvet, and it applies the way it swatches to the eye. And so sometimes when I would do that smoky, smudgy eye with Antiqued, I would just start layering Sketch on top of it because I like the way they pair together. I also use the Maybelline Color Tattoo in Creamy Beige as a base. There's like a variety of different like eyeliners and like creamy pencils I will use as bases as well. I just sort of layer things together. It's really easy though to just do a soft layer of a cream shadow and then build the pigment from this palette on top of it. MAC shadows are an absolute dream to work with. I am so happy I'm working with more MAC shadows this year than previously. like between Urban Decay and MAC, there's no competition in my book. MAC is so much better and so much easier, and I'm just happier using those shadows. I really do apologize for the lack of pictures of the eye looks I do. I hope my explanations are satisfactory for now. I will try to remember to save more pictures. If you really are interested though, you can always follow my Snapchat if you have one. I do post semi-regularly the looks I do along with the lipstick choice from my lipstick roulette, so you get a little sneak peek at what's going on. I do share the occasional update and stuff. I'm not super active on Snapchat, but I do post more stuff like that. It's more like selfies of my makeup, and I occasionally go on rants and stuff. If that happens to interest you, that's where you'll see more stuff like behind the scenes of my projects. I also post occasionally on my Instagram. I'm trying to be better at uploading my Snapchat and my Instagram, because I know some people have Instagram and not Snapchat, so I'm trying to do both. So if you are not already following me on Instagram and you are interested, I will have everything linked in my description box below. I'll even put my Instagram and Snapchat username here because it is the same for both Shadow Smoked, so feel free to follow me on either. If those sort of updates interest you, I will try my best to save more pictures to show you guys more of what I do on the daily. It's not super dramatic, crazy complicated stuff. It's just not. I just don't have the time for it. Not that I wouldn't. I absolutely would. Again, I don't have the time, and some of the stuff isn't necessarily workplace appropriate. Although I don't think anyone would complain. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe I should try it out sometime. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything I didn't touch on in this video that you're curious about or that you want to know. If I can help you in any way, if you are panning a palette, if you're stuck, let me know. I will do my best to help you. We'll troubleshoot stuff in the comments. I love answering you guys back there, and I love helping you guys out whenever I can. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today and for watching this video, and I hope I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye.